Grandad's Gaming Gems.
Let battle commence in the ultimate showdown involving the cutest, tiniest war-based vehicles you may have ever seen, featuring a multitude of classical music that is all too familiar but injected into a war-based drama makes it even more fun. I found this game by accident a number of years ago and have been introducing friends to it ever since. Choose between 1 or 2 player, but I urge you to find a chum and enjoy split screen action. The premise is mildly simple. You have to grab the enemy's flag and return it to your base. The flag is coloured in a nice bright green, but it won't be that simple. It will be buried under many of the enemy buildings that lie in your wake, which you must destroy down to the rubble for the flag to be exposed. You only have at your disposal helicopters, tanks, armoured support vehicles and jeeps. Only 3 of each though, so do be careful that you use them sparingly and carefully. You can only use your jeep to pick up the flag and move it back to your base, so it is not worth using that first in case you knacker things up. I would advise going with tank or armoured support vehicle to review the land first. It's best to knock out all enemy buildings before you go get your jeep and rescue the flag. You're also greeted with these trendy cutscenes when you have completed a level. That was just the first level, so it's obviously really easy, but now things are going to get much more difficult. So I've already made an error utilising my little jeep to go and explore, which I've just told you not to do, and this is the reason why. Instant death. This is more like it. Send in the big guns to pave the way. Helicopters can be used for long distance, but be warned, everything takes fuel, just like real life. I should have probably got a helicopter actually. I'm in a bit of bother. For the second level, this has already become a little bit too unbearable. But don't worry. It is normal to lose a few vehicles in the fray. You have to return back to your pad in order to swap out another vehicle, so you need to come up with a suitable strategy beforehand. I always got myself into a bit of bother with the helicopters because they're always just floating around, but they do provide some serious firepower. But not enough in this instance. An afternoon can easily go by with this game. It really is that good. Maps become complex and require more scouting with helicopters, and the controls of the vehicles are mildly frustrating, but I think this may be intentional to cause mild panic in the heat of the moment. Directional travel with the D-pad may leave you feeling a little uneasy, but that's all for the fun of the fair. I've made a terrible error here for the purposes of entertainment. 2-player is the greatest because not only are you pitting your wits against a fellow chum, but it adds more of an element of danger when you may cross paths trying to floor it back to base. It's a very cinematic game, helped with all classical accompaniment. This game had us whooping with joy when one of us razzed it back to base and completed our mission. The game really is that good. It makes you speak out loud. Sometimes you can attempt to be clever, but that may not always work out for you. Better luck next time. This is a game that deserves a good few hours of your time. Don't be put off by its initial slow start, as the maps become more complex and you get more accustomed to the controls. It really does start to come into its own, and you begin to plan your annihilation of the enemy's base and plot your route with the flag. Best played on the biggest screen you own, with a few bags of crisps and a tipple of your choosing, with a bunch of friends. Whilst you can choose to emulate, the good news with this game is it is not £1 million and will happily sell for around £15 to £20 at the time of this video on an original PlayStation disc, should you wish to add this to a physical collection. Originally this was a Panasonic 3DO release and also available on Windows. There was a sequel only on Windows, but I know nothing about that. A true hidden gem. Can't show you the current 2-player, but this is what it would look like as a split screen. But Mr. Tech is nowhere to be seen. Time really needs to be taken to enjoy the classical music. It's fantastic. And I'm reminded a little bit about Alton Towers, but that might be just me. Enjoy.